welcome to Buzz Leaps, your daily explainer. Did you know tech giants are actively firing thousands of workers right this second just to afford the massive servers to run AI? It's happening today. So are you about to be replaced, or are we on the brink of a productivity boom that will completely change how you see AI, the future, and Buzz Leaps? Let's cut through the noise and look at the actual data. 300 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. According to Goldman Sachs research, that is the staggering number of roles globally exposed to AI automation. Over the next 2 to 3 years, AI is going to radically reshape 50 to 55% of all jobs in the US alone. Look, this isn't science fiction anymore. This is a massive shift in the global labor market happening right beneath our feet. So the ultimate question we're all facing is right here. Are you about to be replaced, or are we on the brink of an unprecedented productivity boom? We're literally seeing this crazy paradox where tech giants are building tools to do our work, yet they're bleeding human capital just to pay for the massive infrastructure. It begs the question, is this the end of work as we know it? Section 1, the AI job shockwave, where the disruption is hitting hardest. Okay, let's dive into the specific sectors where this initial shockwave is doing the most immediate damage. The data here is honestly striking. In just the first quarter of 2026 alone, the tech industry saw nearly 80,000 layoffs. And get this, almost half of those cuts were explicitly attributed to needing fewer human workers because of AI and workflow automation. It is absolutely hammering customer service and IT outsourcing. But you know what's crazy? The ripple effects. Because outsourcing firms in India are shedding tens of thousands of jobs, real estate markets in major IT hubs like Bengaluru and Pune are literally stalling out. Investors who bought apartments hoping to rent to software engineers, they're finding zero takers. That is the physical, real-world impact of AI. Section 2, replacing tasks, not jobs, the microeconomic reality. Now, before you go and hit the panic button, we really need to understand a crucial distinction here. AI primarily destroys individual tasks, not entire jobs. A massive microeconomic model by Boston Consulting Group breaks this down perfectly. Yes, okay, 10 to 15% of jobs might be outright eliminated over the next 5 years. However, a massive 50 to 55% of jobs will simply be reshaped. What does that actually mean? Well, your job title might stay exactly the same, but your day-to-day tasks, those are going to change substantially. Ultimately, it's really about how quickly you can adapt to working alongside these new tools. Section 3, augmenting versus competing roles, the Great Labor Divide. Let's look at the data to see how this builds a massive divide in the modern labor market between two very distinct types of roles. Canadian workforce data paints a super clear picture of this. On the left side, we have AI competing roles. These have high exposure to AI but low complementarity. We're talking routine analysis, templated writing, or scripted customer support. Hiring for these specific roles is seeing some pretty sharp declines. But look on the right at AI augmenting roles. These require complex judgment, actual physical presence, and real interpersonal interactions. Workers in these roles are using AI to massively boost their own productivity without being replaced by it. The difference in demand between these two types of roles is just staggering. Now, what is truly fascinating here is the UK government data. It shows that 35% of the UK workforce is actually in highly complementary roles. That is significantly higher than the advanced economy average of 26%. So what's the takeaway? It means millions of workers are actually perfectly positioned to benefit from this technology, as long as they upskill properly. The opportunity here is just as massive as the risk. Section 4, diverging global labor policies. How the world is responding. A crucial point in all of this is how global governments are stepping in to manage this massive workforce transition. Because let me tell you, they certainly aren't just sitting on the sidelines. We are seeing radically different approaches across the globe. On one hand, China has actually ruled that firing a worker just because AI can do their job is flat out illegal. Companies there must provide a good faith reassignment at comparable terms. It's a really profound mandate that completely changes how companies have to calculate the ROI of automation. Meanwhile, over in Europe, the EU is leaning heavily on enforcing its existing comprehensive labor frameworks, along with GDPR and the AI Act. They want to avoid a bunch of fragmented national rules while fiercely protecting worker well-being. Two entirely different legal philosophies playing out in real time. Section 5, the universal income debate, funding the future safety net. Meanwhile, in the West, as anxiety over white-collar automation grows, a pretty controversial economic idea is gaining serious momentum once again. Tech leaders like Elon Musk and Sam Altman are strongly advocating for universal basic income, or what some are now calling a universal high income, to protect displaced workers. Their argument goes like this. As AI generates massive productivity gains and corporate margins hit record highs, we're going to need to distribute a portion of those gains back to the citizens. It sounds like the perfect futuristic safety net, right? Well, then we hit this number, $3.7 trillion. The fiscal math is absolutely staggering. Giving just $1,000 a month to every American would cost $3.7 trillion annually. To put that into perspective for you, that would eat up roughly 50% of today's entire federal budget. So paying out a flat UBI at scale is, frankly, mathematically challenging without completely upending our current tax structures. Section 6, the new human economy. What comes next? So if a flat UBI is mathematically challenging, where does that actually leave us as we transition into this new era? In 2026, we are seeing experts pivot toward what they call a post-labor hybrid approach. It steps away from just handing out cash and moves toward universal basic services. Think along the lines of free automated transit and AI-driven healthcare. Add to that a participation income that financially rewards social and community contributions that machines simply cannot perform, plus a human dividend, distributing those massive productivity gains back to society. Wealth in the age of AI isn't about hoarding capital. It's about leveraging automation to buy back human time. So, what does this all mean for you right now? Well, your focus absolutely shouldn't be on competing with the machine. It should be on continuous reskilling and upskilling your uniquely human traits, things like leadership, creativity, and complex critical thinking. Plus, keep in mind, entire new industries are being born right now. For example, the US alone needs to fill 500,000 new power sector jobs just to keep these AI data centers running. The key here is managing AI, rather than trying to compete with it. The future isn't about human versus machine. It's about leveraging automation to buy back our time. So the only question left to ask yourself is, how will you adapt your uniquely human skills to thrive in the new human economy? Well, if you want the exact blueprint for doing exactly that, you need to check out my book, The Professional's Roadmap to Digital Freedom, which has what you're silently losing right now, 40L+. This isn't a book about motivation, it's a manual. And the only question worth asking yourself right now is, can you afford to not have this? You can find it at 9B16DD4798A4B08.v2.appdeploy.ai. I am Buzz Leaps, the author and publisher. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next explainer.